Yo, welcome back to Knicks Deli, everybody. Let's go.
Knicks Deli edition.
Killing them. The Bully Boys have entered the chat. The Bully Boys have entered the chat. And two of the best teams we got victories over in the same week. Two of the most dominant big men in the league at this time, and two of the most dynamic point guards at this time. Jalen Brunson loves barbecue chicken. Julius Randle loves barbecue chicken, although he didn't make a plate this game. Tom Thibodeau loves barbecue chicken. Put some respect on that man's name. Can we talk about the New York Knicks? Can we talk about the New York Knicks? The New York Knicks went into Philadelphia when the Bully Boys bullied them off of the court last night. Not only that, can we talk about how the New York Knicks have been giving out gifts all holiday season? All holiday season. It was Christmas when we gave the Milwaukee Bucks a gift of a loss. You take this L. No. Don't give it back. You keep this. And then we started off the new year going to Minnesota where the snow is. And we did Santa's job for him. You take this gift. You take that. And we needed more snow. We needed more snow because our sled won't work without the snow. So we then went to Chicago and we gave them a gift. And you say, nah, you know what? I'm tired of the snow, but I still need the cold. So let's come on home. Get close to home. But let's do it for our neighbors. Let's be neighborly and give the gift to the Philadelphia 76ers. And can we talk about it all being on national TV? Can we talk about the New York Knicks stepping up, showing themselves on a national stage? ABC, ESPN. It doesn't matter. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about us stepping up on a national stage. You tried to set us up. You thought it would be, you know what, let's use the Knicks name and get those eyes on it and then watch and then talk about how they need more, how they need a star, how they're not a step away. They're a superstar away from being where they want to be. We're not going to talk about their progress or their journey or the fact that they are making astute moves that are positioning themselves to make not only a superstar have an ability to come to the team, but everybody look at them as a destination. We're not talking about that. So you set us up to try to put us on the national games. I mean, we want that. No lie. You wanted us to fall, crash and burn on these national games. You didn't expect us to win. Doris Burke. You are now with the Stephen A. Smiths to us. You want to talk about, well, I grew up a New York Knicks fan and watching the teams of the 70s and this, that, and the third. You with Stephen A. Smith. Because we could hear it through the speakers. Y'all don't understand that. We could hear it emanating through the speakers. Almost praying that the other shoe will fall off, that the New York Knicks will fall apart in the middle of the game, and then the opposite team will make that push and then overcome and then beat us so that they can fit your narrative of where you predicted or see the finals ending at the end of the season. It don't work like that with the Bully Boys. Pay attention. So clearly everything you're doing and you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention intricately to what the New York Knicks are doing. And you can't say, oh, that's because the media, they don't allow media. They put the blockade on the media. Nah, if the Knicks fans know, then you need to know. Just watch our media. Watch our videos. You need to come to Knicks Deli. We'll feed you here. Friend or foe, we want the smoke. Everybody eats here at Knicks Deli. So we hear y'all. We hear the surprise through the speakers. When what you expect from that team that you predicted would come in and do what it is they've been doing for the last 5 years. You haven't paid attention to what we've been doing the last few years. And that we've been building something. And that there is consistency and that there's an identity to this team. You haven't been paying attention. So then when you're surprised when it happens. You're surprised, and New York Knicks fans aren't that surprised. That is the key. The Bullies went into Philly, and they did what we do. Somebody steps up when somebody else is a down or fallen soldier. Julius didn't have it. He didn't have it this game. But when you have a good team and a team who fights for each other, you don't always need it. So I want you all to enjoy this meal as we serve it up here at Knicks Deli. Sit back, relax, get a plate, and let's eat. Welcome everybody. If you're new to Knicks Deli, I want you to do me a favor. Pause real quick. Do me a favor, hit that like button, click that subscribe button, share this actual video on your social medias. Share it on X, on Twitter, whatever it is. Share it on YouTube. Share it with your friends. And understand this. Here at Knicks Deli, there are only 4 items on the menu. There's the bacon, egg, and cheese. And the bacon, egg, and cheese is who are the 3 components of that sandwich that make that thing bussin'. So here at Knicks Deli is who are the 3 players that stood out, that game stood out, that really set the foundation for us to secure this victory. So we're going to talk about who's the bacon, who's the egg, and who's the cheese of this game. Next on the menu is the dollar slice. And everybody knows New York has the best pizza in the world. So we're going to talk about the fact that the pizza is a stabilizing factor in New York. We're going to talk about who is the player that was the stabilizing factor of this game that really helped us set the tone and secure this victory. Next item on the menu is the chopped cheese. Chopped cheese is relatively new to that New York menu, but that thing be bussin'. So we're going to talk about whose game, whose contribution, or whose input or impact on this game is relatively new, but that thing be bussin'. So we're going to look at that. Now, you know you can't have the chopped cheese. You can't have the bacon, egg, and cheese. You can't have a dollar slice if you ain't got nothing to wash that thing down with. And we call that the quarter water here at Knicks Deli. So the quarter water represents who's that player who came in and had an outstanding quarter, or who really stood out and helped us go over the top to get this victory. And lastly, but not least, it's typically my nah, son, nah, you wildin' moment of the game. When somebody says something a little bit different, a little bit awkward, and we're like, nah, son, nah, you are wildin'.
Nah, son, nah, you wildin'.
But we're going to combine that today. We're going to combine that with the newest item on the menu that I want to get out there because it's so much more necessary these days. And we call that the glizzy of the game.
Hey, yo!
Hey, yo is right. So who are the players who are going to get the glizzy of the game, the gawk of the game at the end of Knicks Deli, all right? No matter what it is or whether or not you like what's on the menu, everybody's going to eat here at Knicks Deli, okay? So let's dive right in. Who is the bacon of the bacon, egg, and cheese? The bacon of the game is Deuce motherflipping McBride. Our young guy, our young boy Deuce. Round of applause for that man. All of us, you know we're so proud of this man. You know we are happy to see that he had this type of game coming into a game against the #1 team in the East, okay? Deuce McBride showed up. He had an opportunity to kind of step in, and this is what we are going to see over the period of the next 10 to 15 games. Whether it's from OG or anybody else on the New York Knicks bench, this is what we're expecting to see. We're expecting to see contributions, okay, in some way, shape, or form for them to figure out who they are as a bench. Who is going to be the new contributors to the Terror Squad? Who are going to come off the bench? And tonight was one of the first nights that we was able to see it, and we saw it from Deuce McBride. Deuce McBride dropped 15 points. The man was in fuego. He was in fuego today. You know, he came out shooting, guns a blazing. And I love what I saw from him. What I was seeing from him is the fact that this man had the confidence. He was active. Once a few shots went down, you could tell he was extra energetic on the defensive end. He was disruptive. And together, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later with Grimes as well, you know, that law firm of Grimes and McBride was indicting the Philadelphia 76ers tonight. I always laugh because I pay attention to the fan boards. You know, I listen to other channels. I respect the work, and they do good work as well. But I was paying attention to the Philadelphia post game live, and they was talking about, who is this guy McBride? You know, he came in and he really like punished us. He seems to be a Sixer killer, 76ers killer. Because in the G League, he dropped 38 on our G League team. So they out there calling him a 76ers killer. I found that to be so funny. He went out there and he let it fly tonight. He absolutely let it fly tonight, and we needed it. We needed it on a night where Julius just didn't have it. You know, Julius, for me, it just seemed as if he was a little bit shaken by Embiid. The first few times down the court, it's almost like he was thinking more before the move, you know, and that disrupted him. But Julius is allowed to have those type of nights right now. With the string that he's been on and the tier that he's been on with the rest of the league, this man is entitled to have a night or two like that. But it was key for the teammates to recognize what was happening and for them to step up. You know, so that's exactly what happened with Deuce. So I was super happy to see that as well. Now, many of you are going to talk about, many of the fans are going to talk about, yeah, but just when he started cooking, he got benched. Listen, there was a flow to the game. That impact and that contribution at the time that he did it, which is more of an eruption around the second quarter, that was absolutely needed. Yes, but that's not the type of time of the game where you let him ride that out. If that happened towards the third or the fourth, yes, let him ride that out. See if we can ride that momentum to the victory. But there's a whole swath of the game that still needed to be played, and that's when you go to your leader, your veterans, and your stars. And that's exactly what he did. He sat McBride down, brought back in Brunson. Brunson not only settled the shit, but he pushed the gauntlet. And he helped really put the pressure and continue to raise up the score so there was no beats that were skipped. So I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, yeah, we got a good victory. But Tibbs pulled away. Stop. Because then he still put the young man back in to end the game. And he was able to secure or finish up the rest of his 15-point barrage on these bum 76ers. So give a round of applause for our guy, Deuce McBride. Member of the Terror Squad. Next up, who's the egg of the game? The egg of the game, we're not going to... Look, it's Jalen Brunson, goddammit. It's Jalen Brunson. Round of applause for our captain, our leader, our all-star, our all-NBA player, Jalen Brunson. I think Kendrick Perkins be watching our content, Knicks fans. I think he'd be watching our content because I said it once again at the very beginning of the season that Jalen Brunson is taking it personally. He's almost like a serial killer, man. He has a checklist of all the people who said something against him, who wronged him. He's like one of those kids that got bullied or continue to get bullied, and then they keep a list. I'm going to show every one of my bullies that this ain't it anymore. And he's going after, he's hunting down every point guard, superstar point guard matchup, and he's eviscerating them. Once again, he made another statement about his all-star positioning and his all-NBA positioning. Every superstar matchup, he cooks. I'm surprised. Look, it's almost to the point now that when you're seeing him play, you're surprised when he misses a shot. But more importantly than his contributions to the game is the level of confidence that he gives his team. You see how confident they are to know to go out there and do their job when they got somebody who is just literally carrying them. It's so crazy. I said this on the last video that I made. I've been so accustomed to the 90s. I recognize greatness when it happens. That's why I say don't wait for people to tell you he's a superstar. He's a superstar. Because I've seen this repeatedly in the 90s with Michael Jordan, bro. And I'm not saying he's on the level of Michael Jordan, but I'm just saying when superstars come in, we're so accustomed to those superstars coming in to make a name for themselves at Madison Square Garden. That we need to recognize that same energy, that same taking the air out of the lungs of the crowd when that player comes in and hits a big time shot and takes a bow. That's what Jalen Brunson is doing every arena he goes to. Every arena he goes to. So when are you going to recognize it? When are you going to actually acknowledge it? Stephen A. Smith, that you looking over what you think is the pretty girl on the block, Donovan Mitchell. He ain't doing half of what Jalen Brunson's doing this season. You out of your mind. You done lost your flipping mind. But you know what? He says nothing. He says nothing, and he comes out and he continues to get you these buckets. All you pontificators can say what you want. The players respect him. Listen, going into these games, he was talking his talk also. The man was in Philadelphia, the area for Villanova. The Villanova boys came back to send a message. And they was talking their talk last night. And it's so crazy. He was in his bag in terms of crazy shot making. So let me tell you this much. He clearly has shown that he is a tier above many of those guards that are above him right now. So Knicks fans, I hear you when you talk about, it's a global thing and there's fans all around the world. Telling me there ain't fans across the world who ain't New York Knicks fans. Miss me with that. Miss me with that. We need to do better. A great majority of these fans of ours are older in the demographic. And if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. I think somebody pointed out, listen, we don't got that much sauce on us. We put our lunch pails, we pick up our lunch pails, we go to work. Our plays aren't flashy like that. You might be right. That flash is what gets these young kids' attention, man. It's a little bit, it's a little bit different. When Kyle Kuzma makes it because he wears all the saucy outfits that he wears, and kids look at that, he got the fit, the fit. Come on, man. But that's what they look at, and that's what they root for. I don't want to get started with that. Vote for your player, please. Vote for your player, please. And at the same time, while you're voting, give a round of applause for the egg of the game, Jalen Brunson. Next up, who is the cheese that makes up the final ingredient of the best sandwich in the world? Who's the cheese of the bacon, egg, and cheese today? And the cheese goes to Isaiah Hartenstein. Round of applause for Isaiah Hartenstein. And my new nickname for him, being revealed here on Knicks Deli, and if you hear anybody else use it, you got it from here. Shout out to the Red Bull. My guy Red Bull. Because that's exactly what he's been. Red Bull has stepped in admirably for Money Making Mitch. Okay? Red Bull has been crazy. Activity off the chain. Off the chain. It was stupid. He knows every matchup he's going into. First, he goes in and he dominates against Gobert, and then he knows what's on the menu for him waiting, here against the Philadelphia 76ers. And you know what? He took that Philly cheese steak and he chopped it up into a chopped cheese. Red Bull is crazy. I love to see it. I love to see him take on the challenges. It doesn't matter. He battles. He hears the comments. He hears the some dude comments. He hears the Hartenstein, ain't Mitch, or is Mitch better than Hartenstein? He hears all that comments, but he stays focused And talk about the block on Embiid. Talk about the block of the alley-oop. Talk about the fearlessness of this man. Talk about the fact that he knows his role. I provide defense. I could provide the floater. I could provide the vision. Now talk about the New York Knicks depth. But lastly, what I want to talk about is the level of discipline that it takes for you to get in somewhat early foul trouble against the MVP of this league, the former MVP of this league, and still have enough discipline and basketball IQ to stay locked in and to finish this game. Round of applause for the last ingredient of the bacon, egg, and cheese, Isaiah Hartenstein, my guy Red Bull. Now, who's next? We have the dollar slice next, okay? And this is the person who provides stability. I mean, honestly, it's just the legacy of New York and the stabilizing factor of New York. So who is the dollar slice? And that dollar slice goes to Josh Hart. Round of applause for our guy Josh Hart. Now, New York Knicks fans, you are a fickle bunch. You an interesting bunch because you look for something to critique. And it's so funny because I heard somebody say, New York Knicks fans are the most critical and they hate on the fans. That's why the players leave and they don't say goodbye, this, that, and the third. Listen, I hear all that, but we ain't the most. Every fan base. Go to Philly right now. Go to Philly fan pages right now and hear how they talking about Tobias Harris. Go to Philly fan pages right now and hear about how they're talking about their bench and that they ain't got nobody. Go to Philly fan pages right now and hear about how they're talking about Daryl Morey. Every fan base does it. But New York Knicks fans, I want to call you out. I want to bring you to center court right now. Because some of what I'm hearing you guys talk about now is Josh Hart's contract. And the fact that he's not producing at the level for which he's getting paid. Are you crazy? Tell me if you don't know this is happening. Tell me you don't know this is Jalen Brunson's team. Tell me you don't know that. Tell me you don't know this is Jalen Brunson's team. And at the moment that he got here, they started securing and surrounding him with all of his familiar players, but skillful players. Tell me this. Tell me you don't know that. But also tell me that Josh Hart doesn't have a Draymond-esque impact on this team. To a very lower scale, a Dylan Brooks type of impact to the Memphis Grizzlies contribution to the team. A Pat Bev in his prime impact to that team. He's not going to be on a stat sheet, his contributions. But increasingly, he has been. The man grabbed 15 rebounds. Makes timely buckets. And low-key provides the energy bursts that we need that helps propel us through slow parts of the game. He's in there as a guard forward, battling the bigs. Coming down with rebounds that he shouldn't get. So it's tough to do an evaluation on him. Or to try to say, his contract. No, he's not that type of player. But he is that type of player that at the end of the day, you stand and you raising trophies and you celebrating the fact that he was on your team. Okay? Fans, we are not GMs as much as we want to be. And it is fun trying to play and predict. But when you sit there and you posture yourself as if you know more than what this front office knows, based especially off of what they've been able to do the past few years, then son, I'm sorry. You wildin'.
Nah, son, nah. You wildin'.
So with his rebounding, his hustle, his ability to finish at the rim, he plays at a fast pace and he makes shots when needed. He is that energy glue for us. So do me a favor and give a round of applause for your dollar slice. Josh Hart. Now, who's the chopped cheese of the game? And for the second straight video, I ain't going to waste no time. Tom Thibodeau. The Teflon Tom. Tibbs Mafia. This is a public service announcement. I want to pause you all, and I want to tell you, stop trying to get rid of Tom Thibodeau. Stop trying to get rid of Tom Thibodeau. When we look at the front office and their ability to be unmoved by any of what the outside world is telling them they should do, when we look at the fact that they hired Tom Thibodeau and they've given him the security to do his job, and we look at the fact that Tom Thibodeau has done his job since he's been here, and he hasn't done it like how you want it or like how you want it. He's done it the way he wanted to do it. And it hasn't always been popular. And you can look at it and say, oh, his offense make me sick. Oh, it's so sickening to see the offense. You see how different the offense looks when you don't have as many ball stoppers in a lineup, as many people who need to touch the ball. So then now that the game is flowing and moving and everybody's touching the ball, Clyde Frazier said it last night on the broadcast. He said, since I've been back, you asked me what I've noticed different about this team. And I noticed that the ball flows and the ball doesn't stop. Well, you got rid of 2 ball stoppers. I mean, shout out to IQ. IQ, we needed that. And we needed that from RJ too. But this is what happens when you lock in and you focus on 2 of your primary scorers. But then you'll turn around and then you'll say, you know what? So now he's going to burn out these players. Oh, 38, 40 minutes for these players. This is what we're doing. This is how you create superstars. 2 of our players who tough through injuries already. Every player has an injury. You never know what a player is going through. But it's never the right thing for you guys. If he's not, if he's giving them the touches and giving them the freedom and the positioning as an organization to be in the best position to be successful, then you're like, he's going to burn them out. Oh, Tom Thibodeau, he's going to burn them out. Look, this is what he's doing. But then when you keep an RJ or you have an IQ on the team, then it's like, I don't like how this offense look. It's so ISO heavy. This is what we do. So what is right for you guys? There is no right, because y'all don't know what y'all doing. Y'all looking to see what's on the floor, and then you're critiquing what you see at that time. Instead of letting those people do the job, and you have a right to critique it, but you're not always right, is what I'm saying. And you're going to always find something wrong. And that's, I guess, what we fans do. But y'all wilding. Because this man, every post game, I look for the fan pages after a victory by us. And I look to hear what they're saying. Every team talks about our physicality. Every team talks about how they came in here and how their players kind of cowered a little bit when defense and physicality was brought to their doorstep. Every team. Philadelphia, last night, that's all they talked about. When a team comes in and plays physical with you and plays defense with you. Minnesota, that's all they talked about. Well, they came in and they out-physicaled us. They kind of, played defense and this, that, and the third. That's Tom Thibodeau. That's the Tom Thibodeau way. That's the Tom Thibodeau impact. So for y'all, a lot of people are out there talking about, with Tom Thibodeau, many cases they stuck in the 90s. Yeah, Ninja, we stuck in the 90s. I don't want to get unstuck until we get to the conference finals and then make a finals and then win a finals. Because that's something we ain't done since the 70s. So unstick me then. Pause. Hey, yo. Unstick me then. Okay, but up until that point, the physicality, the offense is not Van Gundy. Like, if you want to talk about clunkiness of the offense, think about Van Gundy. When we was winning games and we were scoring 88 points. You remember how much pain that was? 88 points. Think about that. Kobe scored 81 points in a game. And we were winning games. 88 points. Imagine what the offense looked like. Come on, bro. We don't want to go back to that. Okay? And the confidence that he provides for his team when he prepares them and makes sure that they're on point. And he also produces stars. I don't care what you say. I told y'all this from the beginning. Who will be the next star that Tom Thibodeau produces? He produced Emmanuel Quickley. Look, Toronto was loving Emmanuel Quickley. They're already looking at him as a star. He's on his way to being put in position to be able to show that he can be as well. Say what you will. RJ got his shot here. We put him in the best position to try to be successful as it related to our personnel. Maybe he'll have more space and freedom to do that over there as well. We will see. Julius Randle became an all-star and an all-NBA player here in New York under Tom Thibodeau. Here in New York under Tom Thibodeau. He had his very worst season under a different coach. Tom Thibodeau creates stars. Jimmy Butler. Derrick Rose was going to be a star anyway, but he flourished under Tom Thibodeau. Joakim Noah was a star in Chicago. See, y'all keep disrespecting this man. And last night, in addition to that, the team defense and the pace won us the game. And that's been the MO for the last few games. Team defense and pace. And more importantly, how you finish the game. The New York Knicks put a foot on the neck of the opponent last night. You ain't getting up, bruh. And they did it on national TV. Round of applause for your guys, the New York Knicks. And lastly, you can't have the quarter water, you can't have the chopped cheese, the dollar slice, or the bacon, egg, and cheese if you ain't got nothing to wash that thing down with. So, who is the quarter water of the game? And the quarter water of the game goes to Quentin mother flipping Grimes. Round of applause for our guy Quentin Grimes. We were called into a Grimes scene last night, and it was messy. We were called to Philadelphia, and they said, alert, alert, alert. Come over here ASAP. There's a Grimes scene taking place. It was much bigger than the 10-foot aliens in Miami, okay? The Grimes scene was off the chain last night in Philadelphia. And as many cars that would have been here from the police department, there wouldn't have been enough, okay, to stop what was going on in Philly last night. Quentin Grimes, bro, 19 points. The bottleneck was back. Oh man, Grimes McBride Lawford was back. The terror squad was back. He has an opportunity now that Emmanuel Quickley is out of the game and RJ Barrett is gone. He has an opportunity now and that freedom to play free. And that's exactly what he was doing. He was going for the 3-point shots, yes. But there was a couple of opportunities where now he needs to. And he needs to dust off that handle package, that dribble package. Because he needs more opportunities where he breaks down the defense and gets a little bit closer to the basket. But he was going for that last night, and kudos to him. I give him that. The ball flow is apparent now with this version of the team. The ball movement, the look for the open man, the passing, it's there. And he's a key part of that to that as well. I love the fact that last night he mixed it up a little bit. He was looking for a shot, though. And I love that. The fact that he's on the floor with his second unit and he knows he's one of the primaries. And once again, 10 games. Allow him to get accustomed to that. Let him get a rhythm of that he's not going to be pulled if he puts up a couple of shots and he misses. You all we got right now. And this is what we need from you. This is what we're looking forward from you at this point. So I want to say that. I also want to say shout out that Tibbs let him finish the game. Let him finish out the game to build up those points, because a lot of those points came once the game was already in hand. So I really want to give Tom Thibodeau props for leaving that man out there and letting him further build on his confidence. I saw he was coming out of the game at a certain point, and Tom Thibodeau was like, nah, you stay in. I'm talking to him. I'm pulling somebody else. So round of applause for our guy who is the chopped cheese, not the chopped cheese, who's the quarter water of the game. Quentin Grimes. Round of applause, y'all. Round of applause. And as I wrap this thing up, I want to thank you guys. Do me a favor real quick. Click the like button, man. I'm producing more consistently. I'm putting out the videos, and I know you like the work. So do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up, and share this. Share this on social media, share this with your friends. But I know what you're here for. You're here for, who's that? Nah, son, nah, you wildin'. Moment of the game. All right. Now I want to say nah, son, nah. I'm gonna split it up. I'm gonna do the nah, son, nah moment of the game. The nah, son, nah moment of the game was Wally Zerbiak's eyebrows.
Hey yo.
Hey yo. Post game, bro. I'm sorry, bro. But them joints was just like, I'm like, yo, bro, are those real? You know what I mean? Like it was beyond the unibrow. He had like 2 extra fully large caterpillars over each side of his eye. Yo,
hey yo,
I know I ain't want to talk. Look, it look like my eyebrows. I cut them off, but that's just how they are. And I guess that's just how they are for him as well. But Wally Zerbiak, bro, get the eyebrows taken care of, bro. I don't even know how that's going to look, but do that, please. Do that for all of society. But lastly, I want to talk about the last item on the menu. And this ain't much talk. This is more so a list of names. It's a list of names for you guys. Who's going to get the glizzy of the game?
Hey yo!
The glizzy of the game goes to that person that just needs to shut the F up. You've been talking a lot of talk, and I don't like what you're saying. And we don't like what you're saying. It'd be one thing if you were spitting facts, but you spitting something else. So while you spitting, since you spit on this glizzy, okay? Glizzy of the game goes to the following: Malika Andrews and a homegirl, I don't know her name. Stephen A. Smith. Gilbert Arenas. Emmanuel Quickly and his coach talking about he need to have fun. Becky Hammond. Knick fans talking about they the GM and that we need to go get a whole new bench. And Doris mother flipping Burt. Follow directions. I need you to take one hand, put it up. I need you to take the other hand, put it up, and enjoy this glizzy.
Nah, son, nah. You wild.
No, you going to. You have to. Enjoy the glizzy. I'll turn away. I won't even look. You finished? Are you still? Keep this in mind. Same thing applies to life that applies to our team. If there ain't no struggle, there's no progress. And keep this in mind also out here in these YouTube streets and on NBA Twitter, everybody eats. I'm your host, Shea. Thank you for joining me here at Knicks Deli. Peace.